What could drive someone to turn down a well-paying job and choose to stay on welfare? Unfortunately, it's more common than you might think. Frankie Johnson, a college-educated single mother, moved to Atlanta to distance herself and her daughter from an abusive husband. Without a job or place to live, she sought government assistance. As she waited to receive housing and childcare benefits, she was offered a job paying $70,000. She turned it down. Why? Because as much as Frankie needed work, she would no longer be eligible for housing and childcare benefits. Stories like this are all too common. Government safety net programs create benefit cliffs, where recipients lose more in assistance than they can gain through work. Benefit cliffs are just one of many problems with current safety net programs. They don't teach financial literacy. There's too much money wasted on the bureaucracy, and they force everyone into a one-size-fits-all solution. We need a new, innovative approach to poverty relief. One good idea is to create empowerment accounts that give struggling families access to a monthly stipend. But instead of eligibility requirements that disincentivize work, eligibility would be based on adhering to productive measures that help lift them out of poverty. The money would go directly to families through a debit card tied to a financial budgeting app. Combined with financial counseling and community-based case management, the program will teach good financial habits and best practices to stay out of poverty. Funds would be restricted to only government-approved items, but there would be flexibility between programs. So, if someone needs less funding for housing, but more funding for food or childcare, the money would no longer be restricted to one or the other. Empowerment accounts would have a time limit of 1 year, but would have more flexibility regarding income limits. This means people like Frankie would be able to take a job without the risk of losing a home and childcare. They would have a work requirement, with exemptions for recipients such as parents with children under 6, combined with skills training or attending school. This eligibility model, along with incentivized savings throughout the program, should eliminate benefit cliffs. Empowerment accounts would replace some, if not all, traditional safety net programs. In 2019, the total administrative costs of these programs in Texas amounted to $684.8 million, meaning about 9 out of every $100 spent was not reaching intended recipients. In contrast, empowerment accounts would substitute much of the administrative expenses with community-based case managers. Consolidating these 4 programs would cut costs, allowing for more of the resources to go directly to recipients and the communities helping them. Rather than measuring success based on the number of people enrolled as we do now, empowerment accounts would hold these nonprofits accountable to performance outcomes based on the success achieved by recipients after they exit the program. That way, the incentive to help recipients achieve and sustain self-sufficiency is integrated into every part of the program. Empowerment accounts should start as a pilot program by states, local governments, or nonprofits, then eventually expand to the federal level. If the program succeeds, they can replace more safety net programs over time. To learn more about this program's potential, check out texaspolicy.com. We'll see you next time.